What's good, Neoform fans? It's Bryant Cook, and obviously tonight we're playing Neoform. I've uploaded a few videos of this deck over the last month or so. Throughout this video, those cards will be playing, above. There's the first one. There's going to be several. Click on those for more information. Tons of great content. Today we're playing a different kind of Serum. In the last video, I played Serum Powder. I actually thought it was pretty good. A lot of the people watching weren't so convinced. I continued to test it, and it was honestly just fine. It wasn't as good as it was in that first league, but it continued to be fine. I don't dislike the card. I bought 4 Japanese foils. I'm convinced that the card is playable, but over the last week or so, I've been testing Serum Visions instead for some added consistency. You'll notice here I have 4 copies of Serum Visions. This was a card that I was not thrilled to play with. A bunch of people in the first video were like, Bryant, you should really be playing Serum Visions. It adds consistency at the cost of speed. But in my mind, I was just like, I want to turn 1 people. Why would I play that? So there's no offer you can't refuse in this list. This list is a little bit slower. We're back down to just 4 ways to turn 1 with 4 Chancellor of the Tangle. And there's also 4 copies of Abundant Harvest. Wait, how did we find so many slots? Well, I talked about no copies of an offer you can't refuse, so there's 4. And then, look at this. 1 Mox Amber, 1 Springleaf Drum, and then 1 Heritage Druid. So there's some slots. I'm not playing 2 Ambers, I'm not playing 2 Drums. What I've noticed when I've played this deck, and I've gotten a little bit better with playing it if I'm being honest, so I'm mulliganing better, but I'm also paying more attention to how many cards are left in my library. So I'm always trying to get to a divisible of 7, that way I can draw my entire deck, because you really only need 1 of each of these in order to win the game. You can't guarantee that you'll hit a divisible of 7, but the math says that you should likely hit both of those as long as you're doing your game plan. And these cards just adding that extra consistency is what this deck really needed. That's what I was looking for out of Serum Powder. Well, now you get that consistency without having to play duplicates of cards that you didn't really want to play, that you weren't interested in. So that's the idea behind this list. It is a hair slower, I'll admit. It's a touch slower, but I think it is a better deck list. Let's say I just went and described a whole bunch of stuff that you have no idea about. I would definitely go check out those initial videos, but here's a quick breakdown of how this deck works. So you would like to cast Allosaurus Rider for its alternative mana cost of exiling 2 green cards from your hand, which allows you to play this card for free. And then from there you cast Neoform. So you sacrifice the Allosaurus Rider, and you can search your library for a creature with a converted mana cost of 8 and put a 1/1 counter on it. So you get Griselbrand. Now with Griselbrand, you draw a whole bunch of cards until you hit Nourishing Shoal. You exile Autochthon Wurm, Autochthon Wurm. A bunch of you in the comment sections in the last one got really, agitated that I've been mispronouncing this card. I'll be honest. Someone told me when Ravnica first came out a million years ago, because I've been playing forever, that's how it's said. Autochthon Wurm. I guess it's what it's called. Hope you're happy. Please leave me alone. So Autochthon Wurm. I don't care how it's said. I'm being completely honest. Do not care. But you exile the worm, and then from there you gain a bunch of life. You draw more cards, and eventually you play Mox Amber, Springleaf Drum. So now you can convert the black mana from Mox Amber, because it only makes black due to the Griselbrand being legendary. So you convert that to a green mana with the Springleaf Drum. You play Heritage Druid. You tap Heritage Druid along with 2 additional copies of Allosaurus Rider for 3 green. Then you cast Thrasta, Tempest's Roar, huge Jurassic Park dinosaur, love it. And then you play Fortifying Draught, or Draught, another card that I mispronounce. So you pump that up. It gains +X, where X is the number of life you've gained, but you've gained a ton of life over this turn due to Nourishing Shoal. So this Thrasta ends up being, roughly a 100/100. You attack for 100 lethal. You trample over all of their creatures, all of their planeswalkers, and you destroy the entire Jurassic Park island. That's the idea. So this is modern Neoform. I hope you enjoy it. That's my deck tech. I'm sticking to it. If you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. If you're going to tell me that I'm mispronouncing your card name wrong, honestly, I don't care. Save your time. Not interested. All right, that's what I've got. Thanks for watching this. I do appreciate it, and I will see you in the first match. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm Fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for sideboard help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 sideboard guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Alright, first match with Modern Neoform. Here we have double Summoners Pact, which means that all we would need is a Neoform. You have roughly the same amount of odds as drawing an Allosaurus Rider as you do a Neoform. That said, we've added some consistency cards to our deck. I think I'm going to try mulliganing this just for a slightly better 6. And here we have the Pact again, but we also have a way to Neoform. So we're going to keep this. We have to bottom a card. I'm interested in all 3 lands just because it guarantees my ability to cast the Eldritch Evolution. So I'm going to bottom the Nourishing Shoal here because I have to pitch 2 cards if I want to win the game. It looks like we're facing Hammer. If I want to win the game. So I don't want to have to pitch. Ooh, what an amazing draw that was. Okay, let's go. Wow, what a rip. Okay, it's worth noting that the Hammer deck that won the Modern Challenge this week had 2 main deck Spell Pierce. They have their Hallowed Fountain. They're at 19. They're attacking. Ouch, I'm at 19 too. Gonna hold open that Hallowed Fountain all game, or are you gonna tap it? They're fetching. Stoneforge Mystic. So we have the window. They picked up a Cauldron. Alright, well, it's a good thing we played 2 copies of Griselbrand. Let's go get the Rider. Cast Rider, pitching these 2. Blue, green. Now in Neoform. Go grab this Griselbrand. And now we have 14 draws to hit Nourishing Shoal. So let's activate the first time. No Shoal. A little bit scary. Alright, so we need to hit it off this one. No Shoal there either, so we just died. We're going to die due to the Summoner's Pact. That's a bummer. Nothing I can do there. So I'm just going to play out some stuff here and then pass the turn. So the reason why I'm not conceding here, and I'm not going to say that our opponent's bad. That's not what I'm trying to say at all here. But I've had a number of opponents concede on their turn, forgetting about my own Summoner's Packs. So I'm going to leave the opportunity for the opponent to concede here. Although that was some real bad beats. The opponent's going to activate Cauldron by the looks of it. Or activate Stoneforge for Cauldron. All they have to do is pass the turn. Inkmoth Nexus, okay. You've got it. And they'll attack. Why not? I mean, it doesn't matter. And a giver. Okay, so I can't pay for Pact. I'm going to concede, and we can go to the next one. So something that's sort of interesting about the way that these hammer lists are built recently is they have anywhere between 2 and 3 copies of Lavinia in the sideboard. And that's actually sort of an issue because you don't want to have to bring in Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer does beat it, but it's not really a card you want. The list that won the challenge had 2 main deck Spell Pierce and 3 sideboard Mana Leak. So Veil's not the worst, and it does beat the Lavinia. I think you're okay boarding out Abundant Harvest or Serum Visions. I do like that Visions, you know, it's does a little bit better of a job at digging. So I'm going to leave that in, and then I'm going to bring the Foundation Breaker. You could bring in the Dissenters, but I think that you're going too far in trying to beat everything. I think having the Foundation Breaker to stop Needle's fine enough, and you don't want to take out Pact Negation because it is good against their 5 to 6 counters. So I'm just going to do this and hope that it's enough. I'd also like to note that we did bottom Nourishing Shoal in our opening 7, or opening 6, I should say, and I put it on the bottom. But if you looked at how that game played out, I never had an additional green card to pitch to the Rider. So by doing that, I actually had an extra Shoal in my deck. I just didn't draw them, which is unfortunate, but sometimes that's how it breaks. All right, on the play. I'm going to mulligan. I think we can do better. Turn to Neoform. Keep. We don't have to lose the game this time if we fizzle either. I do have to find another green card. That's the one downside here. So I'm going to keep this bottom Visions and see how this game goes. All right. Blue, Visions. We found our green card. And we can put the Wurm on top. Pass. Basic Plains and do Sentinel. You got it. So no blue cards this turn. Let's cast the Rider. We're going to exile Summoner's Pact and turn Timber Symbiosis. So this card was free. And now tap for a blue, tap for a green. Let's try this again. Neoform. Like I mentioned, we don't lose the game this time. There was no Summoner's Pact involved. So now we get Griselbrand. That's an 8/8. We'll draw 7. Let's try it again. Draw 7 down to 5. Oh my. I have a feeling this is not going to be my video. We have to pass the turn here. Oh, I guess I can play a Rider. Okay. Discard some lands. I don't want to show my opponent Veil of Summer. Alright. Maybe I should have kept the land over one of the... I also didn't want to show them a Pact, but maybe that's wrong. So the reason to keep land 3 would be if they have like a Path to Exile here, but I doubt that's going to be realistic. They're 18. Okay, so we have that beat. I mean, I could beat that with the Veil, but I'm wondering if I even show them. Alright, so we'll draw... Oh, wait, we don't have that beat. I forgot we don't have Nourishing Shoal. In my head, I was like, oh, we're just going to pitch the Autochthon Wurm and then draft it. Draft the Gristle. But that is not a play that we can make here. Go to 4. They're 18. Okay, let's just go to combat. 11 coming in. No blocks. That's fine. And I'm just going to discard. We can get rid of the Chancellor. They're dead to Griselbrand. Memnite, that's fine. Steel Shaper's Gift, you got it. Colossus Hammer. Sigarda's Aid. Okay. So that would be exactly 13. I do have this Fortifying Draught in hand to gain some life. No blocks. So now they choose a target. And we're just going to cast the Draught here. They can draw a card. I'm not interested in paying a life. Okay. So now I'm at 15 and they're going to deal me 13. And then they die to my Griselbrand in the air. Off to game number 3. I don't think I'm interested in changing anything. I'm just going to resubmit. And we did not show them the Veil of Summer either. And I did make a mistake there discarding the land. I should have discarded something else. Maybe the Thrasta. Alright, so we have Neoform. We have no Dino. This hand's not bad, but I think we're supposed to mulligan it. On previous builds of this deck, the ones that didn't have consistency cards, so like the first offer list that I uploaded, I probably would have kept this. But now that I have cantrippy cards, I think you can afford to mulligan. And this is a turn 2 with Pact of Negation backup. Keep and bottom. Actually, is it Pact? Or do I rely on drawing a green card? I think I'm going to bottom the shoal and say I will draw a green card. Opponent going to 4 cards. Alright, let's do it. Serum Coast, pass. Draw. There's a green card. Gemstone Mine, pass. Serum Coast. Ornithopter, and they're passing. Alright, so this is our turn. Our opponent could have Spell Pierce here. We have the Pact. We could also just cast this Serum Visions. But I think they have 2 cards. We should just do what our deck does. And the reason that I want to go here is what if our opponent untaps and draws a Lavinia? Like, that's actually kind of an issue for this hand. So let's cast the Summoner's Pact. Go get the Rider. Cast Rider. Blue, green, Neoform. 2 mana, Mana Leak. Nope. Okay. Griselbrand. Activate. Wait, what is this card? Do any of you recognize this? I certainly don't. I don't know if I've ever seen it in my life. Alright, so we're at 43 cards. I've already committed to winning this game this turn, as you can see here with the Summoner's Pact. So I'm going to cast this Pact as well to thin. And this is going to bring us down to 42, which is a divisible of 7. We can pitch the shoal here. Alright, we're at 27. Draw. And now we can draw our entire deck as long as we don't search for no reason. Okay, so now I get 2 more activations. No shoal. Yikes. Getting a little nervous here. Okay, we have 28 cards. I could thin with the Summoner's Pacts. I don't think that's the correct choice. I just have to trust my deck that it's going to be in the top 25%. We have 3 hits. Activate. Oh, come on, deck. Oh, wow. I can't believe that's just super unlucky. We have the... Actually, can I win here? Hold on. We have Draught. We have a Thrasta. Okay, I think we can do this. I've gained 15. Yeah, I think I have it. Alright, so we'll Pact. Grab Heritage Druid. I swear, the deck is not like this all the time. I don't know. Like, you probably don't believe me watching it, and I completely understand. Uh, but it's not usually like this, at least in my experience. Okay, play this. Tap for triple green. Now we play the Thrasta. We have to draft it. And this is exactly... Oh, no, my bad. I forgot about the 2 plus off that. I was going to say it would have been exactly lethal over the Ornithopter, but I forgot about the additional +2. Opponent's delivering some salt in the chat. Real nice. Alright, so we are starting this video off 1-0. You'll love to see it. Stick around for match number 2. If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. Let's get back to comboing out. On the play. That's what we are. Okay, this hand's decent. We have everything we need. Unfortunately, this Chancellor doesn't accelerate us into the turn 1 Eldritch, but it is a green card we can pitch. We have the Rider with Summoner's Pact. Slow and steady wins the race or something like that, right? This is just a solid turn 3 hand. We have to make it there, but it's something we can do. The opponent is taking a mulligan to 5 to start off the match. I'm not going to bother revealing that. It doesn't do us any favors. Let's just play the Sanctum. What are you playing, Organic Gamer? Humans. Yikes. Okay. Not a good matchup for me. Here's a turn 1 Aether Vial. Oh, never mind. They converted that colorless to a green, so it's a Noble Hire draw. Unfortunately, I can't win this turn. We need to be able to untap into Evolution. So let's see what the Humans player has in store for us on their second turn. Unclaimed Territory. Wait for a Champion of the Parish. Yes! I get to go! Not a Thalia. Not a Meddling Mage. Alright, Waterlogged Grove. Let's cast Summoner's Pact. Go get a Rider. So we're at 50 cards. So believe it or not, this is perfect because when you resolve the evolution, you're going to be at 49, and that's a divisible of 7. Okay. Grab the Gristle. Activate. No luck there. Oh, no, we did. We hit the shoal. My bad. Pitch. 27. Okay, activate again. Down to 13. Alright, so now we don't die to our own pact anymore. That's nice. Let's go to 6. And our opponent is disconnected. I'm still just going to try to play properly. Play a drum. We did not hit another shoal, but this is going to be the same thing as that previous game where we just have it wrapped up. We just have to go through it. Alright, so we're going to cast the Rider, pitch these. And here we have another Rider, so let's pitch these two. There's the Elf. Alright, we're at 6. Tap these 3. Thrasta into Draught. And this is 24 as we saw last game. They have 4 power to block, but that's not going to be enough. These games have been by the skin of my teeth. I said it wasn't like this all the time, and here I am barely getting by. I don't know what to say. Feels like a little bit of bad luck, but if it keeps happening, you have to start questioning that, right? So we're on the draw versus humans. Humans is not a matchup where we need Pact and Negation, so those can come out. But the thing is, my sideboard isn't really built for this matchup. I don't really have anything. So you can actually bring in ley lines here because they stop Kitesail Freebooter. It's a free play to do. I think that's probably the best thing you can do in this matchup, and then just resubmit. You could also bring in something like Dissenter's Deliverance for Cage. Is that better? I guess a cantrip is not bad. It's not going to let me. Okay. If there's a game 3, I'll make that change. This is a turn 2. Keep. The opponent is kept 7. Horizon Canopy into Noble Hierarch. Draw. Gemstone. Play the drum. I could play the Rider now. I just don't think it's worth it. I guess it gets underneath a Meddling Mage. Alright, let's do that. So now if they play Meddling Mage on their turn, they have to name either Neoform or Evolution, and I just have the other. Land. 3 mana. Ah, punished. Punished! Okay. That was hurtful. Alright, we just have to pass here. I can't replay the Rider. I tried to make a good play to beat the 4 of, and I get hosed by this 2 of. I don't actually know if it's a 2 of. I just can't imagine that they play 4 of this. I could be wrong. Yeah. Let's see what they can do. 2 mana here. And they have the Meddling Mage. So it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Into Charming Prince. Okay. Draw. Alright, I think I'm just going to go to game 3. No need to, keep playing that one out. So the question is, do I want the extra green cards in the deck? I think those are probably better than Leyline. We'll bring in the Foundation Breaker just in case they have Cage. I don't know, it seems sort of free. Plus more green cards to pitch, it's fine. On the play for game 3 versus humans. This is a race matchup, so we want to go fast. This is unfortunately not a keep. Mulligan. We have 1 land. We have Pact, we have Evolutions. Can't cast the Serum Visions. I think you're supposed to go to 5 here. Good hand. Alright, so we'll keep this. You can get rid of 1 Neoform and Waterlogged Grove. We have to find the Rider. Alright. Let's play the Harvest. Come on, Rider. Non-land. It's a cantrip, better than a ley line. We have 8 hits off the top of our deck that win the game. And claim territory. They name human. And Noble Hierarch. Come on, deck, please. Give me Dino. And by Dino, I mean Allosaurus Rider. Draw. What is it? Abundant Harvest. That's a disappointment. Alright, we have to cast it. Non-land. Another Neoform. Alright, I'm afraid that we've likely missed our window to win this game. Horizon Canopy. 3 mana. I can't beat that one either. Cycle. Yep, that just beat me. Alright, I'm locked out. There's no need to keep playing this. The list literally can't beat a Magus of the Moon. So, no point in keeping. So, in theory, you can play out a Springleaf Drum or just like try to beat down with Riders, but like Drum can't cast Neoform or Evolution. So, there's no real point. We're 1-1. No need to dwell. Let's just try to get match number 3. Humans is less than 1% of the metagame, so sometimes you'll lose to this sort of stuff. No need to fret. You can't beat everything in Magic. That's fine. Match 3 coming up. Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm Mini Token Pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grape Shot, everyone's favorite Stormwind condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, 8 Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in Paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice. We've got you covered. Make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop. We are on the draw against a Yorian Sky Nomad deck. We've opened up Griselbrand, which obviously isn't great. We have Summoner's Pack for access to the Allosaurus Rider, but the rest of this hand isn't that terrific. I think we should just mulligan. So we have the Rider, we have Neoform, we have access to a second land, Snapkeep. Okay, bottom the Thrasta. I'm trying to think of how this game goes. So we cast Abundant Harvest for a land. Let's say we don't draw a green card. I have to cast Rider pitching one of these two. So that means I want to bottom the Shoal. You know what? I'm going to bottom the Thrasta, and I'm going to say that we're going to draw a green card. And then I'll have Shoal already ready for the Gristle. Draw. Not a green card. Abundant Harvest. We'll say land. Pass the turn. They're using Windswept Heath. And they pick up a Nile land. Is this Enchantress? I think that this is Enchantress. What's going on here? Draw. I didn't draw a green card. So now I have to pitch the Shoal. Alright, and you might be thinking, why don't you just wait a turn? I mentioned, our deck list cannot beat Blood Moon. So you have to just go when you can. At the end of this video, I'll actually share something that I've been thinking about. People have talked me out of it, but I don't know. Alright, activate. You have a path. Solitude. Alright, I'm going to activate again. I do have Pact to Negation in my deck, and I did not hit Pact to Negation. Okay. They exiled Omnath. Okay, so it's a little bit of a mislead on these opens, I think. Then we get to draw 7 more. And there's the Pact to Negation I wanted. We'll play out the Amber. And we can just go again next turn. So let's just move to cleanup. Get rid of these Serum Visions. Get rid of the extra land. We don't need Turn Timber. Don't need Chancellor. Don't need Evolution. Alright. Pretty stocked hand. Island, okay. So it was a little bit of a mislead. They put Yori into hand. Draw. Alright, let's try this again. Summoner's Pact. Go get Rider. Cast the Rider, pitching Chancellor, pitching Neoform. And let's cast Neoform. One has 5 cards. Bristle. Draw 7. Another Solitude. So I can Pact to Negation this, but it could also bite me in the tush. Because I've already played one Summoner's Pact this turn. Draw 7. We hit the shoal. That's a good sign. So we'll pitch this. Now we can activate Crystal 3 times. Currently 26 cards in deck, so it's not a divisible of 7. We need to hit the Allosaurus Riders, and I think that's it. Alright, activate once. Hit another Summoner's Pact. Let's cast that. We'll get the other Rider. Alright, activate. Activate down to 1. So now we play Rider, pitching Harvest and Chancellor. Rider, pitch Chancellor plus Evolution. Tap this for a green. Druid. Tap for triple green. Thrasta. Shoal, pitching this because I can. Do I have another good card to pitch here? I do not. Alright, pitch that, I guess. Oh, I had 2 Thrasta. What an idiot. Alright. Let's attack. Okay, so we got game number 1 over... I don't know if this is Money Pile or Elementals. This land really caught me off guard. So I know that a lot of those decks now are playing Eldamari's card. Why can't I remember? I've been playing with that card. Eldamari's Call for Magus of the Moon. So you want to be fast in these matchups still, but you have a lot of cards that you need to beat. So we want Veil of Summer here. We boarded in pack number 4. I find that you can usually take out Abundant Harvest here. You want to keep in Visions, and this brings you to 60. I'm not going to worry about Foundation Breaker. I'm just going to submit this. So a list that I was playing with before I started recording, and I ended up switching it, but I ended up not having ley lines in my board. And instead of ley lines, I had no dissenters, no ley lines, and I had Stern Dismissal, which bounces Magus in the Moon, and I had Force of Vigors. And I ended up switching it just because I feel like I always get paired against Living End. So I was like, I want the edge for Living End, and then I swapped it. But another thing I've been trying to beat Magus in the Moon is I've been playing a real mana base. And by a real mana base, I mean fetch lands and basics and stuff, so that way you can actually beat Magus and Blood Moon on your own. But people keep on talking me out of it, because if you play fetch lands, you lose life. Shock lands, you take 2. My mana base was 13 lands, 2 breeding pool, 1 forest, 1 island, and then fetches. And I didn't hate it, but everyone kept on telling me that it was bad, so I swapped off it. It's a natural way of beating Magus and Blood Moon, and I keep on losing to those effects, so it's pretty frustrating. I know I said I was going to mention at the end of the video. Congrats, you got it early. But let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Should I just be playing the mana base that I'm playing now? Or should I really be trying this mana base that naturally beats these Blood Moon effects? Yeah, I'm interested in your feedback. But for now, we're on the draw. This hand is absolutely delightful. We'll keep. Misty. Draw. That's a good one. Let's see if we can find a Neoform. Alright. Draw a card. Speaking of Neoform, we just have it all wrapped up. Turn 2 with a pack backup. I do have to lose 3 life off the turn timber. So that's, I don't know. If you think about playing a turn timber and playing fetch shock isn't terribly different, but that said, you could also just fetch get island or fetch get forest. So, I don't know. They pick up the garden again. The Seiju. Both of Nissa. So I think that means that this is actually elementals. They have 6 cards, one of which is a Wooded Foothills. Alright, let's party. Ouch. 17 life. Rider, we're going to pitch Turn Timber and Veil. Tap, tap. Neoform. Oh, one of the other things I forgot to mention in the deck tech. I am so sorry. A little space brain today. And that is, I'm playing 3 main deck Pact to Negation. Modern is super blue right now. Very, very, very blue. You wouldn't know it based on this league so far. But if you look at the winners metagame and MTG Goldfish, there's tons of blue decks at the top of the format. When I was only playing 1 Pact to Negation, I hated it because like I just couldn't beat blue decks in game 1. Ever since switching to 3 main deck Pact, I've been doing fairly well. So that's the reason for this change. What is this? Hitting cards that I want? That can't be. And we're at 42, so we're a divisible of 7. Opponent pausing here on this Nourishing Shoal. Solitude. We will cast Pact to Negation. Veil of Summer. Activate. Ding dong. Act. Bryant Cook wins the match. You love to see it. You'll love to see it. All right, 2-1. Hey, you're still watching. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to make a purchase from Card Hoarder, TCG Player, or Amazon and are looking to support us, you can open up our description down below, and in there you will find our affiliate links. Those same links are found on the homepage of the Epic Storm. But that's not all. We've included a Card Hoarder button on our website that will load the Epic Storm in your Card Hoarder cart to make life simple for you. Alright, time for the 4th match. We are on the play. Do it up. Okay, so we have Double Chancellor. We have Neoform. We do not have a Rider, unfortunately. This could have been a turn 1. It's not, and our opponent reveals a Yorion once again. So we're going to go to 6. Alright, so we have Chancellor. We have Summoner's Pact for Rider. We have an Evolution. So this hand cannot win on the first turn, unfortunately. We will keep it, and then I think you actually just bottom the Chancellor here. Actually, I think it's the Shoal, because you end up pitching Chancellor to the Rider. And I'm going to reveal this, which might seem weird, but I don't have to take a damage in order to cast this Abundant Harvest. Every life point counts or something, right? That's what the kids say. Those youngins. Alright. I probably shouldn't have done that, especially when I'm saying I'm getting a land here. It's a little bit foolish. Land. Like, I could have shown them Botanical Sanctum instead. Playing really sloppy. Alright, so we need to find land 3 and then another green card. We have 2 turns to do it. Okay, another Naya Triumph. Maybe that's just the norm now. Draw. There's land 3. So that was actually the tougher of the 2 draws that we needed. So now we just have to find a green card. Temple Garden, you got it. Alright, green card. Womp womp. So we can sacrifice this Waterlogged Grove on the end step, and that should get us there, and then we have the untapped land in our hand already. Downside is we are giving our opponent a 3rd turn here. Okay, so our opponent has some spice going on over there. Let's draw. There we go. That's a green card. Draw again. Neoform. So that saves a mana. Let's cast the Summoner's Pact. We'll go get the Rider. Cast it, pitching these 2. We want to keep the Thrasta around because it's a 12 mana card that can pitch to Nourishing Shoal. Okay, so now we cast the Neoform. Grab a Griselbrand. Activate. Down to 13 life. We actually don't need to hit the Springleaf Drum and Mox Amber in order to win this game because we do have a land drop. We're at 40 cards, so we're stuck in this weird in between where our deck is not a divisible of 7 and we can't make it 1. We don't need... I think you're supposed to just take the Druid here, because you do need that in order to win. Okay, let's pitch Thrasta. We have another Thrasta we can win with, and this gives me at least 2 activations. Activate again. There's the worm. Let's pitch the worm. Activate. Another shoal, so let's cast that, pitching the turn timber. There's a pact over here I didn't see, so let's go grab Thrasta, and we have to draw one of the 2 riders. Activate. Okay, so we're going to go down to 3, and I hit a rider. We're fine. Everything's just fine. Land for turn. Play the Mox. Play a rider. Pitch these. Play a rider. Pitch these 2. Keep the Abundant Harvest. No real reason, just why not? Play this rider as well. Alright, tap that. We did hit the drum. Tap this for a green. We could tap one of these because we have 3 elves on top of the Heritage Druid. So now we tap these and find wherever the Thrasta is. Make it very large. Your Solitude is no good here. Alright, so we've taken game number 1. I'm going to assume that it's similar to the last deck we just faced, so I'm going to keep on bringing in interaction. If it bites me in the butt, it bites me in the butt. So I think we board out the Abundant Harvest once again. If you wanted to, you could keep in Harvest and then side out the Chancellor and just say, hey, I'm going to be slower, it's fine. That's another option you can have. You can choose consistency over the speed factor, and I think that's completely reasonable. But here on the draw, I just like the Chancellor. I think that sometimes you get free wins based on people tapping out early because they think that you can't get them. All right. I think we can do better. Let's go to 6. Sure. So we're and I will reveal. No, actually, no, I won't. There's no Abundant Harvest in the deck, so there's no value in revealing this. Windswept Heath. Stomping around into what? Utopia Sprawl. Alright, so we're looking for an Allosaurus Rider. That was a good pickup. We needed land 3 for the evolution, and it's a blue source that doesn't, bite us in the butt. Unlike that Gemstone Mine. While these are both decent cards, we don't really need either of them right now, so we're going to bottom these. And now we have land 3 as well that isn't Turn Timber, so now we can use Turn Timber as a pitch card to the rider once we find it. 2 mana. Oath of Nissa. Yep. This does look like the same Elementals deck. They put a Windswept Heath to hand. Okay. So ideally, our draw step plus Serum Visions would be Rider plus Pact. Not Rider or Pact. Serum Visions? Bummer. Okay. 2 on the bottom, we have to pass the turn. I think if I found Rider, I'd probably just jam without the Pact negation. I don't want to give our opponent too long. You got it. There's the Apprentice. They have the red activated already. Vivian? Sack a creature. Search your library for a creature with +1 Mana value, put onto the battlefield and shuffle, so they get to blink the Vivian here. Okay, so now they sack the Felidar and they can get a 5. This is cool. Like a birthing pod pile. Karma Guide. This is sweet. This is really cool. Okay, so it's not elementals, it's a combo deck. I wonder if they even have... Alright, they have the infinite one now. We're not going to make them go through it. I wonder if they even have counters. Maybe I should be taking these Veil of Summers out of my deck. Let's get these out of here. Bring the Abundant Harvest back in. I'm going to go down to 3-packed. So it's just our game 1 configuration. Let's try this out. Could also board in Leyline to the Void. But I don't think that's really what this matchup is about, so I'm not going to do that. On the play. Double Griselbrand. Mulligan. Uh-oh, we're going to 5. Yikes. Okay, so bottom Mox Amber. Alright, we're not going to reveal. So we need to find Rider and another green card. Visions. Well, there's Rider. Here's green cards. Okay. Pass. Wooded Foothills. For a Temple Garden. Bop. Birds of Paradise. Alright. So let's see if we can make them pay for tapping out to play Hansen here. Get the Rider. Cast these. I'm sorry, cast the Rider pitching those. And now we play Neoform. Griselbrand has entered the battlefield. Draw. Draw again? No! Oh my. We just died. Wow. You know, I played so much Neoform over the last 3 weeks. It does not happen this often. Jeez. I'm dead. Literally nothing I can do here. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent plays Misty. You have a Utopia Sprawl. Yep. I mean, I'm dead anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Womp womp. So we're 2-2. That's 3 times this league where we haven't drawn a Nourishing Shoal. It stings. So I am not playing Zernorb. That is a card that I stopped playing because I wanted the extra consistency of 4 visions for Harvest. Maybe we could go back to playing 1. I traditionally don't love Zernorb, but with the way that I'm drawing tonight, maybe it's necessary. I don't know. But let's just chin up, try to win match number 5. If you're looking for more great Magic the Gathering content, definitely check out the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, a lot of what we talk about transcends all formats. We're available on all major podcast platforms. Alright, 5th and final round. Let's get it. We're on the draw. I will reveal this Chancellor of the Tangle in case we draw into Abundant Harvest. We have a draw step and the Serum Vision, so 2 draws to potentially hit it. It's worth revealing, at least in my opinion. Opponent playing a 60-card deck this round. Horizon Canopy. Alright, so we're facing Hammer. Draw. Another Chancellor, not what the Doctor ordered. So we're looking to find Neoform here. Alright, cast this Visions. Ding dong. Pass the turn. With double Shoal in hand. There's a Saga, you got it. Bring the pain. The pain is 1. Draw. Rider, we will pitch these 2. Alright. Blue, green, Neoform, Bristle, activate, down to 12. We have 42 cards already, so we're a divisible of 7. I don't want to wreck that by searching our deck with Summoner's Pact. We have a lot of shoals here, not a lot to pitch. We do have 1 Thrasta that's expendable because we have 1 more we can win with later. We're at 10. Activate again, down to 3. There's the other Thrasta. 21 cards left. We can shoal pitching a Chancellor to draw 7. Do that. Alright, no Worm yet. I believe we have another shoal in our hand. Let's pitch another Chancellor. Draw 7. Down to 3. 7 cards left. And we hit Worm and the final shoal. Alright, 0 cards left. We actually got to use the deck as intended. How crazy is that? Pitch this Harvest. Rider. We can pitch Summoner's Packs. Oops. Rider, pitch these 2, I guess. Time to find the Mox. Out on that side of the hand. Here we go. Tap. Play the drum. Tap. Tap Gristle, I guess. It's technically slightly safer in case for some reason our opponent had double removal that they were sitting on. I don't know. I know that we have triple packed. I'm just saying that it's technically a little bit safer. We'll play the Thrasta. Draft it. Casual attack for 50. I see your Memnite and raise you a T-Rex. Alright, that's game number 1 versus Hammer. So we saw green is the splash color, or so we think. I'm going to choose to believe... Actually, I should probably just look at Goldfish. Alright, I shouldn't fall for it, because they all have an off-color sack land. So I think I'm supposed to leave these in, board out the Harvest again, bring in Veil of Summer, and a Foundation Breaker. Let's try this out. The first list that comes up has a Silent Clearing, which is the white-black sack land. Game 2. On the draw, we've opened up Griselbrand. Not ideal. Not what we want to be doing in our deck, despite it being a Griselbrand deck. We don't have a Rider or Neoform. We have to mulligan. So this has a Rider and double cantrip. I think that this is worth keeping. And you want to keep the Foundation Breaker just because it's a green card. And it does give you a little bit of insurance against something like Needle. So we'll try this. And I think that you just bottom the Pact because we don't know if we actually need it or not. Alright, our opponent ended up going to 4 cards. Let's see what they are. Turn 1 Saga. So we can actually blow up the Saga with the Foundation Breaker before they could even get a Needle. Visions. Looking for Neoform. No such luck. I think I'm supposed to bottom this Visions. Just because we have Gemstones as our blue sources, unfortunately. Saga goes to 2. And they are blue. 2 mana, Stoneforge Mystic. They get a hammer. Okay. Draw. And I hit the Neo! Yes! Let's go get that rider. Okay, let's pitch the Foundation Breaker. I want to keep the Turn Timber Symbiosis in case I draw a Nourishing Shoal with no other good pitch cards. Right, sacrifice the rider, get Griselbrand, draw 7. Not so great. Draw 7. Are you kidding me? It's 4 times this league. I don't know what to say. I'm just giving away games at this point. All right, game 3. It's frustrating. I play so much Neoform. Like, so one of the things is like, I really do test a lot of the decks that I play when before I record them, and I actually started running really hot with this list all of last week. And this week, I've admittedly not been playing that much Neoform because I've been playing a lot of CEDH. But before I started playing CDH, I was like, this is the list. It's been running super well. I love 4 Visions for Abundant Harvest. It's just been so great. And then I go to record it, and the deck just flops. I don't know. Not going to worry about it. Let's just try to get game 3. So we have land. We have Neoform, no Rider. I think we should mulligan this. Yeah. Keep. And bottom. I'm going to bottom the shoal. It's the correct choice. Because you likely need to pitch something to the rider. And so right now it's these 2. And I need to draw a 3rd land still. This gives me backup in case of Needle. Draw. Alright, so we need to find land 3. Our opponent's also representing having Spell Pierce. Memnite, you got it. Urza's Saga. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely representing Spell Pierce. I'm going to Foundation Breaker their Saga. Because this gets Needle. And the fact that I can slow them down, it's worthwhile. We did find the Pact of Negation for their Spell Pierce. We just have to find land 3. Alright, Arid Mesa. Sargarda's Aid. Yikes. Alright, no attack. Draw. So I can go for it here. This is the downside of using the breaker. If they, I mean, they're telegraphing the Spell Pierce really hard. So I can go for the Griselbrand, but I have to Pact of Negation. The downside is if I pass and take 11 from a Memnite, I'm in a really bad spot. Especially if I don't draw a green card. I think I just have to have a little bit of faith in my deck here. Okay. They're going to cast Spell Pierce. Yep. Back to Negation. Alright, so we have 3 Nourishing Shoals to hit. We're allowed to thin once, because that would bring us down to 49. We hit a shoal. Alright. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to thin. We can get a Thrasta, because that way if I hit another shoal, I have a good pitch target. And I did. Okay, so I think we've probably got this. 33. Draw. Okay. 7 cards left in deck. Play some riders here. Rider, pitch. We don't need the Neoform effects anymore. And I hit the last shoal, so that means I can draw the rest of the deck. Okay, so we've got it then. Tap this for a green. Where's my druid? There it is. All right. Tap, tap, tap. Thrasta. Draught. And hiya. So we're going to finish this league 3-2. Yeah, honestly, 3-2 is better than I expected if you told me that I was going to give away 4 games throughout the course of this league. Oh, geez. So this was kind of a nightmare. As you could tell, I did not find Nourishing Shoal this league. Like, it was kind of an issue for me. I did cut the one of Zeranorb that I had been playing. Some people really like Noxious Revival. So I think this league was a good example of why Noxious Revival is not as good as Zeranorb, because I just never found the first shoal. That was the issue. I wasn't finding additional shoals, it's I never found the first. So if that's the case, Zeranorb is just better. So in between the rounds, I came up with a secondary list for everyone to see. This is what I was talking about previously, a list that can beat Magus naturally because you have 2 basics to just beat Blood Moon or Magus on your own, and you don't have to dedicate sideboard slots to Stern Dismissal. This is certainly an idea. I don't know if this is the right way, but I showed this to some people, and those individuals all told me this was a bad idea. I don't know if it is or not, but you might also be thinking, Bryant, you're overreacting. You lost once to Magus, once to Blood Moon, whatever. I get it, especially if you're someone from the outside looking in. But over the last month, I've probably played 25 to 30 Neoform leagues. And I think that's a low estimate, if I'm being honest. And I think it's safe to say that I lose... Every league might be a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but close to every league, at least once to a Blood Moon effect. Like, it's pretty frequently. So it's sort of become frustrating for me that I just, like, keep on losing to this effect that I have no answers for. So that's why I've been thinking about it so much, and that's why I came up with this mana base. Once again, I'm definitely interested in your feedback, and based on how my matches went today, I'm probably forced to play the Zeranorb. This is 61 at the moment, so you would actually end up cutting probably the 4th Abundant Harvest in order to make room. I think that's likely the choice here. Or you could put the 3rd Pact back in the sideboard. So if you did that, you could put Pact number 3 back over here. Drag the Zeranorb. Maybe this is better. You could add this back in and then do this. This is another option you can do. I've really enjoyed the main deck Pact of Negations for what it's worth. This league was sort of strange for me. We barely faced blue decks, but in general, I end up facing a lot of Shadow, a lot of Murktide, a lot of the 4-color Money Pile deck. It didn't happen in this league, but this is also a decision that you can make. I think that this is very reasonable. There's a lot of options that you can make, but that's what I've got. So once again, there's a lot of questions I asked this video. Put your feedback in the comment section down below. I would truly appreciate that. And thank you for watching, especially if you watched all of it with me complaining / whining the entire time. I do appreciate that. All right, thanks. Keep storming. Have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.